Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, hello. We've got Riley Connell to kick it off today.
Right off the top.
Yes.
Shaking it up a little bit.
Shaking it up. These are still red. I apologize for that. We will fix that very soon here. No breaking news, no first alert weather day. They are red, so please just ignore that. They're supposed to be blue. But Riley, what do you have coming up today?
Well, I am just about to head out the door to catch an interview this afternoon with a local farm supply parts manufacturer. Today we're talking a little bit about the impact on the supply chain of this Baltimore bridge collapse. Obviously a very immense tragedy. There's still information that is coming in about what has happened, reporting fatalities. Along with that, businesses across the nation are trying to figure out where they need to go next to kind of route around that Baltimore port, which was, a prime location for a lot of things like raw materials, vehicles, parts, supplies. So that's really where this issue comes in and things get to be a little bit stunted. So
yeah, and of course, Detroit being auto industry right there, you're talking about all of the shipments with the resources, the supplies like Riley was talking about.
Yeah, I've heard from our big three already for the most part that they are either working on finding a plan, spreading out to different ports. When it comes to Ford Motor Company, they've already found another direction to go in with their ports. So they've already been able to go around this issue. As for General Motors and Stellantis, still coming up with some plans. I spoke with an expert out of Michigan State University who talked a little bit about the disruption this is going to have on a national level, which sectors of manufacturing it targets for Michigan particularly, and something that came out of that conversation was an impact to farming equipment.
Yeah.
Some of these parts coming through that port are necessary for those pieces of equipment to be built. So a lot of those pieces coming from Germany, being imported into the U.S., coming through that Baltimore port. So I am going to be heading out soon to talk with a local supplier, a local farm supplier store, talking about how they're getting ready to prepare. So really that idea of something so huge on a national level kind of coming to trickle down and affect us here in mid-Michigan, maybe not a huge, detrimental impact. Dr. Miller said it's not quite chaos at this point, not for us in Michigan.
Like
it is a different story in Baltimore. Yeah, different story right there. It's really going to be an impact for the folks who are immediately in that area in so many different ways that I can't even imagine. But there is some trickle down here, so we're going to break that down a little bit, kind of talking about what consumers need to know, if there's going to be an impact to them, but really talking about those different parts of manufacturing, those different industries that could see a little bit of an impact from this.
Yeah, definitely a huge hit to the economy, and not just that, the first thing you mentioned, which 100% is the lives of the people.
Yeah.
And I know even the governor there talking about, luckily this wasn't during rush hour when more people are on the bridge, but still, you still had people crossing, and those search and rescue teams were out there to find those people.
Absolutely. First thing I've heard even from, getting some communications back from communications folks with these different companies is talking about, those condolences, off the bat, and their concern for some of the first responders. So that's really the first thing on everybody's mind, and these things kind of come secondary in a situation like this, but a lot of these companies kind of have to jump into action to figure out, okay, this is happening really fast. There's definitely going to be some long-term closures to do some repairs. They don't know how long it's going to last, but there's certainly going to be a little bit of an impact there. And even folks moving to different ports, companies having to reroute. Dr. Miller at MSU said that could also have an impact as well, having all of them moving around at the same time. So we'll see how it all plays out, but not quite chaos here in Michigan, but a little bit of an impact. So.
Yeah, and that's coming up what time, Riley? Thank you.
That's going to be News 10 at 6.
All right, we'll let you head out the door. I know you're busy. News 10 at 6. You can catch Riley. And real quick, I'll show you what we have coming up during First at 4 in our 90 minutes of news. I'll get into that in just a few minutes. And by in just a few minutes, I mean after we talk with Claudia Sella to share what's coming up on Studio 10. And then we'll head to Justin Bradford to share what you can expect heading out the door with the flurries and the cold air today. But we do have Claudia Sella next to me, and then we'll talk about our 90 minutes of news a little bit later after that. Claudia, what fun can we look forward to?
Yeah, so it is our buy one, give one with Big B today. So Rochelle will be at Big B in St. John's all throughout the hour talking about how awesome the buy one, give one concept is, because I just think it's so cool. And then also we're going to talk about some of their drinks that they have, because Big B is known for their seasonal drinks, so we're going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're also going to talk about, our talkers today are, of course, really fun. They are about The Bachelor. We're going to be talking about, or Bachelorette, I should say. We're going to be talking about all of that great stuff. Super excited about that. And then now Easter, what you're
Sorry,
laughing.
real quick thing. I was grocery shopping yesterday, and I know you guys have been talking about Love is Blind.
Yes.
I sent
Oh,
Nicole
yes.
Buckman a picture of this wine that said, Love is wine, instead of Love is Blind, and I had to send it to her. I was like, that's so funny.
Oh, that's great. Love is wine.
But you're talking about The Bachelorette and The Bachelors,
Yes.
so there we go.
Yes, we're going to be talking about that. And where did you get that wine, by the way?
Meyer.
Meyer,
If you want
okay.
to check it out. I didn't
Good
buy
to
it
know.
yet because it wasn't in the, I like
Yeah.
my reds, and this one was a white. It was a,
Oh, I like white.
nothing wrong with the
yeah.
whites. I just prefer a red.
Oh, true, true.
I like to be classy, sophisticated.
I know, good with pasta.
Oh, us Italians know that.
Oh, yes. Oh, believe me. Yes, we do. Oh, I want pasta. Well,
Carbs.
Actually, speaking of Italian food, salami chips. I know, you know where I'm going with this.
Oh, yeah, that was a good transition.
So salami is like my favorite guilty pleasure snack. And we are going to talk about a new concept of salami chips that is taking off right in mid-Michigan, a company that has salami chips. Now, I've had salami chips before, but not like this. They're taking it to a new level. So we're going to talk about this awesome opportunity. Well, it was also an awesome opportunity to be able to talk to them too, because
They're good.
Yeah, they're good.
Crunchy.
They're really crunchy, and it's really cool that it's like happening right here. So we're going to talk all about that.
And you talk about it being a guilty pleasure, but because it's got that protein, it's a chip, a little healthier alternative as a
Yes.
snack. You don't have to feel as guilty about that.
And they're thin too. So they are a little salty, I will say, but
They're very salty.
yes, it's perfect for, like, for instance, camping. That's like where I was like, oh, this would be a great snack for camping. So I'm just excited for like all of these new ideas coming out of mid-Michigan, and this is one of my favorites so far. So
That is awesome.
super excited about that. And we're going to talk a little bit about Cesar Chavez Day, because that is actually Easter. He shares a birthday with Easter this year.
That's awesome.
So people are celebrating his birthday a little early. So all of this coming up at 3 p.m.
All right, thank you,
Yeah.
Claudia. Looking forward to it, and go enjoy those
Chips?
salami chips.
Oh, I will. I'll scarf them
They're
down.
so good. I know we have a few bags around here.
I know, they're hanging
We'll
around.
find them. We'll hunt them down. Okay. Well, you can look forward to all of the buy one, give one. It's not buy one, get one. It's buy one, give one for Big B Wednesday with Studio 10. And a little pick-me-up Wednesday, so you can cheer yourself up and somebody else. And then also, if you want to hear about those delicious protein salami chips, woohoo, go check it out. Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock today. Of course, there is their social media handles, or there are their social media handles, WILX Studio 10. Check it out if you want to forward a story on to anybody, if you want to rewatch anything, if you just want to see all the fun stuff going on. Check out WILX Studio 10. And with their little Easter egg hunt going on, you can find those Easter eggs throughout Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock today, and email them at studio10@wilx.com. You can send in your answers for where you found the Easter egg on their set, and then you can win some goodies.
Big time. The one we had yesterday, hopefully folks noticed it. I had a little something to do with that hiding spot, so hopefully you were able to catch it if you watched.
All right, I like that. You're hiding the egg around?
I was. So yesterday I did. Yesterday. I helped out. So it was a good time. And it's been fun, because then you really want to keep your eyes peeled during all of the segments that we're doing, and you want to make sure you don't miss it, because you can win prizes if all you do is mention into us where you saw it and when. That's all you need to do. You can win prizes. So you should watch this at 3 o'clock. You'll have another chance to do that today.
Oh, yes. And, looking at the forecast, we have had our flurries, our colder weather, and then later in the week, we have some more chances for rain.
Yeah, we do coming up, especially as we head towards Friday into the weekend on Saturday. But we'll enjoy some sunshine at least at times the second half of this work week.
Okay.
Just not having it so far today. It's been one of those kind of cloudy days, and I know we had, of course, some line of storms and showers came in yesterday. It was a little breezy, but at least it was warm again. We had numbers back near 60 degrees. That's 2 days in a row we did that on Monday and Tuesday, but today it's a little bit different outside in the way that it feels, unfortunately. But, you know, it is still March, at least for a couple more days, and so this is what we expect this time of year. Lots of change, and proof in the forecast is right here.
We were just talking about February wrapping up, and now we're already talking about March wrapping up. Where's the year going?
I was going to say the final day of the month is Easter Sunday this weekend. Next Monday is April 1st, and so we'll be right off and into the 4th month of the year already. It's just cruising on by.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
we can look at this forecast, and especially looking toward Easter Sunday. I know a lot of people, especially if you're traveling, looking to get with family members, and also you just want nice weather for Easter. I feel like Easter really kicks off the spring season.
It does, yeah, for a lot of people especially. So the Farm Bureau Insurance Cam over there in Delta Township, showcasing some clouds hanging on. That blanket has been sort of thick most of the day. It will thin out this evening, and I'm not going to rule out our inability to see the sun go down this evening. I think by the time we get there, we'll be partly cloudy as we close in on 7:30, 8 o'clock this evening. But the temperatures, well, they have been tough to move today. We've had that west-southwest wind still blowing, making it feel colder, but look at the temperature, just 33 degrees. It's been really hard to move this number all day long. You can see that the 24-hour temperature change, this is the map we don't like to see so much. We like when this map shows the red because that means that we're warmer than we were the day before. Well, when you get the blue or even into the purple shadings, yeah, we're almost 25 degrees colder now than we were this time yesterday when numbers were in those upper 50s. And so a big difference for us across mid-Michigan today. Here are those temperatures again around or barely above the freezing mark. You're not getting a lot of help out here today, but once again, we are also feeling a bit of the wind, which west-southwesterly about 10 to 15 miles per hour. That is taking a bite out of the air. So yesterday, we just showed you that map a moment ago where we're feeling about 25 degrees colder in 24 hours. The wind chills are in the low to mid-20s, and again, this is compared to yesterday feeling like the upper 50s out there. And so really, you're looking at a feels-like difference into this afternoon of about 35 degrees compared to yesterday, and we're on the colder side of that too. And so definitely a chill has settled into the air, and so have the clouds. Satellite and radar again shows a few of those ripples out there in the cloud cover, but we're not really seeing them bust apart yet. You got to look across Lake Michigan towards Chicago, which is where the Tigers will be playing tomorrow for their opening day of the MLB season. And my wife Alex and I will be in attendance at that game. So we're very excited for that against the White Sox tomorrow.
There you go.
I believe it's around 4 o'clock local time here. Over in Chicago, it'll be 3 p.m. We're excited to go to that. But you can see that they're off into the sunshine this afternoon there, and we're still holding on to clouds. But that clearing line is coming. So I do think by the time we hit the end of the day, we're going to start to clear some things out. And so that's what we have heading towards the end of the day. I want to quickly say hello to Chris from watching us from the hotel over there, JFK Airport. Thanks for watching us from out there in that area. And also, I'm seeing we have a question here about how long people can swim in cold water. Not very long. You don't want to be swimming, I don't think, anywhere outdoors this time of year.
No.
Local lakes still very, very cold. I don't think any have ice at this time, but they're still very, very chilly. And also.
What about the Tigers?
Okay, yeah, second favorite team. Okay, who's your favorite team?
Yeah.
Let us know. That's
Who is
interesting.
the favorite?
Because we're going to see Tigers White Sox tomorrow. We're excited for the Tigers side of things. I grew up in the Detroit area, so I'm always, been a big lifelong Tigers fan. We're very excited about that. But yeah, I would answer the first question you had there of you can't swim in cold water for very long, and you wouldn't want to. Oh, White Sox fan. Okay, so
this will be an interesting game.
We're some rivals tomorrow, but we appreciate you commenting in. Yeah, hopefully both teams have better seasons than last. Let's just say that. I'm hoping the Tigers are in an upward swing. We're going to get back to the forecast, too, for you. Once again, we just saw over there in Chicago where that game will be taking place tomorrow. They've got sunshine, and we're going to see that clearing line work our way, and so we should get back into it by the time the day's done here. I think we'll see the sun before it goes down, but it is going to be cloudy probably the next few hours before that happens, and so we'll keep those overcast conditions. But the hour by hour here is going to show the clearing, and you see it here. I think that may be enough to sneak us into the low 40s, even though it'll be late in the day, because all it takes this time of year is that sun to pop out, and it can warm us up pretty quickly. Again, I think it only gets us into those low 40s today, and so that's what we're expecting heading into the rest of our afternoon. But once again, you can see here heading towards the evening, mostly clear skies overnight. So after a cloudy day, we're going to get a clear overnight, Temperatures bottoming out in the low 30s to upper 20s across mid-Michigan. And by the time we get out into tomorrow, it's looking like we see a little bit more in the way of sunshine and less cloud cover. So that's good news for us here. We're going to see temperatures in the mid-40s for our highs. Again, not as warm as yesterday or Monday, but an improvement from today. Upper 40s, maybe you get towards the state line, although there's also a better chance for a partly cloudy sky there than the full-blown sunshine. So here's the hour by hour heading into the Friday morning time frame. I do think we start the day in the 20s. Mainly clear, though, and you'll notice we keep the sunshine around even further, too, heading out towards Friday. We lose the temperatures off the map here, but I do think we find the 50s again Friday. So if you're looking for what I will call probably the pick day of the week, it's probably Friday. We're going to have some lower wind, we're going to have more in the way of sunshine, and we're going to have temperatures working back into the 50s. And so what's not to love about that? That puts us above average temperature-wise, and it also gets us into some sun and calm wind. Really a really nice day across the state on Friday by the time we get there. Now you'll notice at the very end of this hour by hour, heading further out, by the time we do get to Saturday, now this is just after midnight, heading into Saturday early morning, you notice we have a round of rain coming into mid-Michigan. And so that's what we expect by the time we get there. So it's probably going to be a period where we see sunshine late week, eventually give way to some rain by the time we get to Saturday. And so that's what we have coming up in our forecast. But tonight, we're going to call it 28 degrees for that overnight low, mostly clear across mid-Michigan. Again, another night where it's cool, but not too far off from the normals for the time of year. And tomorrow's high comes in at 46. We'll call it mostly sunny and breezy outside, and so that's what we expect as we head into the afternoon on our Thursday. Once again, going to have a bit of wind, but not as breezy as it has been these last couple of days. And we'll see here in the 10-day forecast that we are getting back into sunshine again Friday. As we mentioned, it'll be 53 for the high, and so that's probably the pick day of our forecast here until we get towards the end of next week, when if you're looking ahead in our 10-day, you notice what could be maybe a slightly better day. But we are heading back towards the rain showers Friday night to Saturday, and then again Monday, Tuesday next week. You'll notice, though, that the one day in between those rounds of rain is Easter Sunday, and right now that one looks dry. So don't cancel those egg hunts. Hopefully you can get out and about, at least for a brief period. 51-degree forecast high is just about normal for the time of year, and we'll ride those low 50s through the weekend into early next week. And even though the temps do go back to the 40s for 2 days, we bounce back. By the end of next week, we're back up into the 50s as we head towards, believe it or not, April's first weekend, which is right around the corner. And so it's coming up quickly. A couple events going to be going on for then. We will be sure to keep an eye on for you around here. And so that's our forecast for you here on this final Wednesday of the month of March.
That is absurd.
Yep.
Okay, and for April, is there like some big thing going on in the sky that we've been talking about, we're super excited about?
Nothing I've heard of. No, I don't think so. Yes, of course. The total solar eclipse. That'll take place on Monday the 8th. And so that's just 1 week from this Monday. And so it's coming up fast. I mean, just a quick count of that tells you we're 12 days away from that. So, and this is something we've been talking about for a while. The last total solar eclipse in the United States to come across was in 2017. I was lucky enough to be someone who was there, was able to see it.
It was cool.
While we're not going to get totality here, we're going to have like 95, 96% coverage, and so even more coverage than the one in 17. For those of you who may have seen the shadow of the moon coming across the sun, that is going to be a great event to view, just so long as we can keep the clouds away. And that's what we're going to kind of keep our eyes on. The current kind of long-term outlook, which is not to be trusted too much, taken sort of with a grain of salt when you're 12 days away. But it looks like we might see cloudy morning with a few showers followed by partly cloudy in the afternoon, but that is almost guaranteed to change. And so please check back for updates. Don't say on March 27th, Justin said the eclipse would be good, because that's, you know, we have
always
no
changing,
idea.
you know that.
Yeah.
Check back in.
Changes all the time. So be sure to check back with us. We'll have an updated look at your forecast for then. And we'll be talking a whole lot more about it as we close in, especially as we get into April here, which I'm excited. April is one of my favorite months of the whole year. Might be my favorite, second favorite behind May, just for weather. I love the summer, but April, May, we start like warming faster. And like, to me, that's awesome. I love when, like in the summertime, you got tons of warm days, but you get those like 70, 73 degree days where it's like low humidity, lots of sun, low wind in April and May. Those are perfect. They're just the best. And baseball's coming back. I hope the Tigers are actually good this year. Alex and I, as I mentioned, will be at the game tomorrow in Chicago as they take on the White Sox for opening day. We're making a day trip out there just to catch the game. hopefully will the boys to victory. We could use something for Detroit sports right now. I know the Lions are coming off a
Yes,
great
we
year.
can.
All the other teams have been struggling, but the Wings are making a playoff push. We're not even going to talk about the Pistons till next season, and maybe a year after that, the rate they're going. But the Tigers, hey, we got a chance here. Let's see what we can do.
You know what? And if the rest of them can do well, then hopefully that'll get the Pistons going. Like
Everyone's just in a better mood when the teams are doing better, you know? I mean, everyone's just in a better mood. So we could really use some help. I think the Pistons after last night I think they have 10 games left and they're 12-60, which is not very good. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Nope.
They're winning about 1 out of every 6 games this year, and I know they've had some good runs too, but they've been kind of tough to watch, as everybody knows, the past few years. So hopefully they can turn something around. Maybe they'll secure the #1 pick this year. Who knows?
We're still rooting for them.
Yeah,
there you
of
go.
course, always,
Of course.
always. Pistons always in my heart. Don't mean to hate. Always in my heart. We'd just love to see you win some more games. We'll be rooting for you. Anyway, Tigers tomorrow. We'll be excited to see them.
There you go. Thank you, Justin. I'll give you one
yeah.
last look at the 10-day forecast,
Yep.
and then show you the First Alert weather app, because that would have been a great tool to have on your phone yesterday when we had our First Alert weather day. And of course, if you're getting ready for Easter Sunday, and you want to make sure that it does stay clear for that day, we'll see Justin coming up on Studio 10 at 3 o'clock. But other than that, this is what you can look forward to in your 10-day forecast. And then, of course, your First Alert forecast, or First Alert weather app, I should say, free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store. You're seeing what you're getting there, and the little graphic we have is just an example of what the app looks like. So you can pull up your phone, do traffic alert updates. You can also do the Follow Me feature. All great stuff to have on your phone, and of course check back in for those updates, especially if you want to know what's going on for Easter. But we have Erin Bowling here.
Oh yes, I got to keep it kind of short today. I've got another interview I'm going to be hopping on in about 5 minutes, but today, News 10 at 6, I'm going to be talking about the opioid settlement funds that are becoming available for Michigan communities, counties, all across the state right now. Well, today I spoke with Clinton County because just yesterday, their Board of Commissioners meeting, they formed a committee to try and figure out what exactly they're going to use these funds for. But the purpose of the funds coming down from the state and then, you know, kind of a federal level with the lawsuit that the funds came from, the purpose of the money, or what it's supposed to be used for, is treatment, recovery, you know, making sure we're reducing deaths by opioid, reducing opioid addiction, all of that stuff. So right now, a lot of the communities are still in the planning phase. Ingham County, they recently released a survey done by MSU and some other community stakeholders trying to figure out where the need was. And they're looking at, hopefully, tentatively, getting some more residential like housing for people who need treatment, getting, you know, medication-assisted treatment for people with addiction, that sort of thing.
What about Narcan machines, naloxone?
Yeah, we have a lot of those throughout the community.
We do. Did they say how that's been, if it's been helping, if it's gotten worse, anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask them about that specifically because right now what they're working to do is address the areas where there's need or where they don't already have something in that place. So a lot of communities already have Narcan, so they're
looking at different resources.
Yeah, looking at different resources and things that they can implement, like programs, treatment, other than, you know, Narcan's very, very important. It can stop and prevent an overdose if somebody is in that situation.
But resources that can educate and get them out of that.
Yes, treatment.
Move their future ahead.
Yeah, it's really, you know, focusing on treatment as a way to prevent opioid addiction and overdose. But yeah, I spoke with Clinton County. I recently just spoke with Ingham County, got their update on where they're at in the process, and then I'm going to be hopping on a call at 2:30 here with a woman. She is with the Eaton County and Berry District. They actually have a survey out for the residents right now, hoping to figure out where the need is, what they are still lacking in their community, and where they should put these funds. So if you live in that area, make sure you get to fill out that survey. But if you're looking for more information, tune in News 10 at 6.
All right, thank you, Erin. Looking forward to that. And like Erin said, they have that survey going around, so make sure to fill that out. That helps you as the resident put in some input for where that money, the grant money, the funds is going towards for those programs.
Yeah, a lot of it right now is just figuring out where the need is, where the money could be most beneficial. That's a lot of money. We're talking like millions of dollars for each community over the course of several years. I believe in Ingham County it's 15 years that they're going to be receiving the money over, but that money is just going to fund these programs in the local communities. So it's really, really interesting stuff. But yeah, News 10 at 6.
Helping our community heal. There we go.
Yes.
Thank you, Erin.
Yeah, thank you, Taylor.
And here's what we have coming up on Mid-Michigan Matters. With First at 4 today, we are back with Mid-Michigan Matters. And then, of course, what else is coming up for our 90 minutes of news? So before we bring Deanna Giles over to the desk real quick, we're going to share what's coming up in News 10. Sorry. You guys didn't see much. Let me take this down. We have these microphones on. You've seen this before. And it's like dragging like a leash. Oh my gosh, I almost tripped on it right there. Right here, I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it behind the white paper so you can see it. We tripped on that a little bit. So we almost just had a whole commotion going on.
We're good now though. You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, good. We'll get to you in just a second. We'll finish this real quick. Speaking of injuries, coming up on First at 4 today. That was a good transition. That was, wow, unintentional. Catch my breath. We are bringing in a doctor from McLaren to talk about sports injuries. So of course it's getting warmer out. Maybe not today, but of course heading into next week as we get more into April, if you can believe it, it's going to be getting warmer out. So we want to talk about sports injuries when it comes to youth sports. I know a lot of seniors and older adults like playing pickleball, like getting out on the court and you're moving around, staying active, which is great and healthy for you and fun, you know, love the fun aspect of it with socialization, but also making sure that you're not injuring yourself, especially getting out of the winter season. Maybe you weren't doing the same training that you plan on doing during the warmer months and you don't want to overuse your body too. So it's not even just breaking a leg or an arm, it's also making sure you're not overusing your joints and creating any injuries with those. So make sure to tune in First at 4, Mid-Michigan Matters. News 10 at 5, National Equal Pay Day has come and gone this year, and still the pay gap remains. Women working full-time year-round earn 84 cents for every dollar men make. So coming up, News 10 at 5, our Capitol correspondent Zachariah Wheaton has more on a package of bills being introduced to address the pay gap. And coming up, News 10 at 5:30, we have a consumer alert. The Eaton County Sheriff's Office issuing a warning that someone is impersonating multiple people with the department. So again, that warning coming from Eaton County Sheriff's Office. We'll share more on that News 10 at 5:30. Coming up, News 10 at 6, becoming a certified teacher in rural areas of the state could soon be an easy process. We'll have more on a new $15 million hub at Central Michigan University that will offer no-cost certification pathways. All of that coming up during our 90 minutes of news, and we have Deanna Giles. Where is your name on here?
I'm back.
Oh, found it. There we go. We got Deanna. How are you doing?
Doing good. Good. Well, I got a chance to visit the Masonic Temple in Lansing today. So as everyone knows, the funding for a new city hall per se, or at least just the funding in particular, has been approved by City Council. But there's still some opposition when it comes to the Masonic Temple being the new city hall or just staying in the current building. So they hosted public open tours. Everyone got a chance to check it out. And there's still some mixed feelings about it. You know, some are saying it's a great building with the historic aspect and all that. It is a huge building. Let me tell you, it's like 6 floors.
Oh my goodness.
And it is a lot. It's a lot in there. But yeah, some people are loving it. Other people, not so much. You know, and they like the modern way that the current building is and just feel like it might be best to keep things where they're at.
Okay, so it's in terms of making that transition over, how well you'd be able to move over City Hall into the Masonic Temple.
Yes.
And like you said, it's a historic building. So trying to, if you had to do any renovations, you have to take into consideration all the revitalization that would go into it with the walls and the wires and the pipes. Yeah, that would be a lot.
Yes, yes. And they still, I mean, they fixed it up enough to do tours, obviously, so that it's safe and whatnot. But there's still some, you know, holes there and walls missing and stuff. But, you know, it's definitely going to take some work.
Okay.
But they're looking at just obviously renovating the first 4 floors for City Hall, and then whatever else comes after that is what comes after. So if you want to check it out, if you happen to miss the tour, I got lots of great video of the
6
temple.
floors worth. There you go.
6 floors worth. It'll be on at News 10 at 6 though.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Deanna,
Thank
for
you,
sharing what you have coming up today. And kind of switching over, let's get a real quick look over downtown Jackson. I just want to throw it outside real quick because I know it is a colder day today, so I want to make sure you're all prepared with all of that. So live look over downtown Jackson right now. And that is really all we have coming up during our 90 minutes of news in terms of our top stories from our reporters. But if you are heading outside today, just brace yourself for the colder temperatures. Of course, Justin Bradford was sharing the colder weather that we'll be experiencing over the next couple of days. And I'll show you the 10-day forecast one more time so you can get more insight into what that'll look like. But of course, always download the First Alert weather app. I shouldn't say always. Once you download it once, and you don't delete it, it will be there. But of course, the 10-day forecast just to see what's coming up for the rest of your work week. And if you don't work, what's coming up for the rest of your week? If you have errands to run, if you got to pick up the kids, whatever you're planning on doing. I know a lot of schools too on their spring break this week, so make sure you're enjoying the rest of that. That's fun. A much needed break. And then here for Easter Sunday, it's looking good as of now. And then heading into next week, of course, it looks like we're going to get some better temperatures, so excited for that. But while we're excited to move more into spring, no matter what you're going through, I do want to share our You're Not Alone mental health series, of course. And so, again, all year long here on News 10, and throughout the month, you're going to hear stories from community members and mental health care professionals on Studio 10. You'll hear them on First at 4 during Mid-Michigan Matters. You'll hear them on News 10 Today during our morning shows, during our 90 minutes of news, and also during our 10 and 11, we'll be sharing these stories. The community members themselves, like you, are sharing what they're going through, all of the hard stuff, all of the shame, denial, that they have felt, and getting out of that, looking for the resources, the guidance, the support tools that can really provide more guidance into all of that. And also talking with someone who's been in a situation you're in or that you have been in can really help you, because that person understands where you're going through, and maybe not to a T, but they can understand where you're coming from. And I know when I'm feeling down, you know, it helps to talk to someone who has been through that, because they can empathize more and they feel what you're feeling through. And so if that's something that works for you, know that there are different resources out there, and all you have to do is scan that QR code with your cell phone's camera, and it'll bring you to those resources that we've listed on our website, wilx.com. So again, no matter what you're going through, and maybe you're trying to brush it off, you're like, I'm fine, but it's getting to a little bit. I've been there too. I can be stubborn at times. Make sure you go check that out. We care about you. Know that other people care about you as well, and there are resources where you can improve your mental health. So as we're heading into the spring season, I like to look at that as new beginnings, and so maybe that can be your new beginning, improving your mental health and getting you into a better journey, especially when it gets sunnier outside. You want to head outside and socialize or do your own thing, whatever you're looking forward to. So one more time, 10-day forecast, we'll take a look at that, and then I'll give you a little look at what's going on over MSU's campus just to get a little different look. And you are still seeing all of those clouds. So those clouds will be sticking around for a little bit. And then just prepare for even tomorrow. It'll be breezy as well. So the breeze with the cold is just not a great combination. It's going to feel even colder than what is listed. So just make sure to keep checking back on the forecast, making sure that you're prepared, and we hope you have a great rest of your week and day. So make sure to join us on News 10, and we'll see you on Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock, and that is in just under half an hour here, followed by First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.